coming at you with another review from All Black, this time for the show For the Love of Jason, which I believe is on its sophomore season, and the latest aired episode is episode 4. Now, he named this episode This N-Word Chose Violence, and it doesn't really say N-word, but I'm just trying not to get censored from YouTube right now. And so let's get into this. So the show opens up with his new girlfriend fixing him breakfast. So I guess she stayed the night over. And when I'm watching that scene, I'm just thinking like, well, it's not unrealistic that some women be fixing breakfast for their man, but just that it seemed like in 2022 that is underappreciated, and the leaving her with the key and stuff like that, like he was already getting serious with this chick. I'm just like, that part to me was unrealistic, because a lot of times early in a relationship these men ain't thinking about nothing serious, they just want the panties. And so if a young woman is watching the show thinking that all she need to do is fix this dude some breakfast and she gonna get the keys to his apartment, baby, that's fiction. Anyway, I want to move on from there to, I think the next scene maybe was, okay, so I'm gonna review this stuff out of order. I don't even remember what the next scene was, but at some point Carmen and the chick Lisa, who Eric is married to, were talking, and I think that Carmen was talking about her new job and stuff, and Lisa said she started to bring up Eric and how he was not disclosing the truth about him meeting up at the bar with his coworker. And so Carmen was like, girl, you need to check his bank accounts, you need to go to his job, check his phone log, all this stuff. And I'm just like, was it consistent with her character development? I don't know. Like, I feel like also with the actress, her voice kind of don't match her face or something. Like, her dialogue is just very unnatural. She sounds like an older woman, like an older Southern country woman. Girl, you need to check his phone log. I'm just like, how old is this girl supposed to be on this show? And then her lines be so articulate sometimes. I don't know. It's just her lines be very unnatural. So anyway, you have Lisa show up to Eric's job, and I'm not really sure what she was trying to accomplish there, but she ends up running into his coworker who she suspects he's having an affair with, and her name is Chantel, and she was kind of feeling that awkward energy or whatever. And then I think with Lacey is trying out new relationships this season, and Jason had hooked her up with one of his clients, who I'm not sure like what level of celebrity that this client is at. I think he maybe is supposed to be in the NBA, and Lacey is she in a TV show now or something? I don't know. I was very confused on how her career just got revamped so quickly. And I think the season started off talking about 3 months later, which the end of the episode I already kind of predicted that's why they made it at 3 weeks. They wanted to set it up for something like that to happen, because spoiler alert, I was already like, okay, 3 months later they must want this woman to either get an abortion or suffer from a miscarriage, which has been like a recurring theme in these all black shows. And I'm not going to spoil other black shows, all the other all black shows that had this theme in it, where the woman either is infertile or she lost the baby in some kind of way. But I don't know, that's like a thing on All Black or something, where the black woman just, hell, she in her 30s or her 40s and she just can't she just cannot, for whatever reason, become a mom on these all black shows. But anyway, so Jason hooks up Lacey with one of his clients, and I'm not sure who was supposed to be the most famous between the two of them. Like, in one scene, you see them coming out of, I guess, a restaurant that he took her to, and there's all the paparazzi around, and she's like, I gotta get used to this again. And I'm like, for that type of paparazzi, like, why don't they have guards? Like, I just need to know, like, what level of stardom are both of them at, because this is confusing to me. Like, she seemed, when Jason hooked her up with the dude, she seemed to, like, not know much about him. Like, he's just like, I'll hook you up with one of my clients. Like, dude, your client is famous. Like, like, why he said it like that in one of those episodes? Like, just say, I'm gonna hook you up with the star player from this team. He is one of my clients. Like, that dialogue would have made more sense to me. But anyway, they chemistry isn't quite that to me. It's like, I feel like if the director is directing her to act that way, I think she's capturing that energy well. We've all been on dates that's like, I mean, maybe the person good on paper, but the chemistry is just not there. And so I'm not feeling the chemistry between these two. I'm hoping that they're not standing it up to where the chemistry isn't there for her because she's in love with Brian. Because another scene, we see Brian looking at old photos, or not old photos, but current photos of Lacey with this new guy. And then he's reminiscing about things that happened in reality last season. I think he's doing well with the role of a player. Like, he's definitely a narcissist. He just looks like he's. Well, let me not, because it's going. What I was about to say was going to sound like I'm really criticizing or saying something negative about the actual actor, and so I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that person that like make fun of what people look like and all that different stuff. So. He looks okay. I wasn't going to go there, but I was about to say something that could be misinterpreted as me criticizing what the actor look like or seem like as opposed to the actual character. He ain't taking his relationship seriously with that girl. What I'm noticing is a lot of pick-me's in this show as well. Like, the new chick that Jason is dating. I mean, why you fixing this dude food and stuff? And why you with, see, I done made that mistake before too, dating a guy who, well, I never dated a guy who had a baby on the way, but I dated a guy who had an infant, like new baby. When he told me about his daughter, I was like, oh, that's your baby new. Like, your baby ain't about to be 2, your baby just came into the world. And so, like, watching that is like, oh my goodness. We know that junk exists where women be with these dudes who just a minute ago was just screwing with some other girl that they were with, and we just like, okay, we believe you. We believe there's nothing else still there. Clearly, what? No, come on, girl. Like, she should have stuck with her standards. Like, I'm not dating somebody who has a baby or just had a baby. Like, if it's meant to be, you could probably follow up with this dude in a few months. At least wait until after the baby is born. If he didn't moved on with some new chick, hey, you go ahead and date as well. But look, that ain't the last man standing in the world. So it just reminded me of some bad mistakes that I've made in the dating world. Anyway, so back to Brian. He's not committed to that girl that he didn't have. They hadn't been engaged for like 3 years. He keep trying to like sell it short and talk about, well, it's actually like 1 year if you think about how we broke up and get back together. Like, this chick needs to move on too. Like, this dude just straight up had sex with his best friend, or one of his best friends. Now, to his point, to be fair, she did put the engagement ring back on the table, and so that pretty much was an indication that she wanted that relationship to be over. So he didn't necessarily sleep with Lacey um, when they were together. So I'm gonna be fair with that. But this dude was on a speed date and stuff like that. Like, he wasn't taking this relationship seriously. And what is it that she see in him where she wants to continue with this? Moving on, Lisa confronts Eric at some point about Chantel, his coworker, and them getting drinks and him trying to make it like he went to a meeting with her, and then afterwards he went and got a drink with Jason, which obviously wasn't the truth. And she was like, "Yo, what you trying to hide?" And he just trying to, you know how men are, trying to throw it on you and trying to make themselves like they're the victims and stuff. And so he leaves out in the storm when she asks him, is he having an affair? And he runs to Jason, and Jason like, I know I'm supposed to cover for you. Like, that last episode, Jason was saying way too much though. Like, he didn't have to say all of that. He could have just been like, oh, okay, yeah, I just saw him at the bar. And that could have been it. Like, why would you bring up the other woman? Like, even if you think that your friend having a drink with this person is innocent, like, why would you think it was, like, it can't be just a little innocent either. Like, they at a bar laughing, having a drink. Like, no, I would just be like, that just ain't make no sense. Like, Jason was out of line. Eric should have been honest with his wife, but Jason was also out of line. And then he really wrote his character like he would just be all hardcore and just be fighting his friends like that. Like, what? Like, just tell a dude to get out your apartment and be done with that. Like, y'all supposed to be in y'all 30s and y'all been boys for a while. You were his best man. And you pushing on this dude? What? Anyway, we get to the scene where him and his girl are having a date night, and they're playing cards. They're playing strip poker or something. I don't know. So I don't know. I obviously don't have a romantic life because I don't know about any of these games, but that looks like something that they're doing. And he gets a call from, oh no, you know what? Before I talk about that, let me talk about the stupid scene with Lacey when she goes to pick up the tickets for her and the dude that she's seeing. And you have Marva, whatever, Jason's neighbor name is / secretary that works. I'm like, why isn't this chick fired? Like, why are we always, with every black show, they always have these very inappropriate, unprofessional secretaries. Like, that joke is so stale at that, what they call it, that's like a trope at this point. and it was just such an unfunny scene. Like, I did not laugh, it was cringe, everything. Everything about Lacey's scenes so far have been cringe this season. Even her dialogue with the new guy. Like I said, like, if it's supposed to represent that there's not really any chemistry there, I think she's capturing that well. Because her jokes, like, they be corny. And I'm like, I be getting secondhand embarrassment. I'm like, it reminds me of when I dated, in my early dating, and I used to tell corny jokes. Like, I'm still corny. I know not to tell jokes because I know I'm corny. But it was just, all her scenes have been cringe this season. But that one with Marla was particularly cringe. And they have this woman overly sexual, hypersexual, unprofessional as a secretary. That didn't make any sense to me. Anyway, we get to the end of the episode. And, after Jason was playing cards with his new girl. He gets a call. Well, he actually gets that interrupted when Carmen calls, talking about she bled, and obviously she has a miscarriage. I saw that coming like hell the beginning of the season, just knowing that they're talking about fast forward 3 months. I'm like, some of this stuff, how that happened so fast in 3 months? Like Lacey career just catapulted in 3 months. Like, nah, they setting this up for this chick to get a miscarriage or something. So I don't really know where the season is about to head with those two. Is I hope is it gonna be predictable where he ends up with Carmen in the end anyway? There's nothing about her character where it's like, yes, I want Jason with Carmen. Like, no, I don't know. This show reminds me of Insecure in some ways. It's like the main version, male version of Insecure or something. Like, this dude gets like every woman is attracted to him and stuff, and his life goes at whatever pace he wants it to. You know, just like just like Carmen said, like he just could pick up and move on with his life and start dating again, and she pregnant, like she can't do that. You know, that's reality. We see it all the time. Like, and when she said that she just didn't expect to have a baby like that, I'm like, girl, you in your 30s, like you don't know nothing about protection. I'm tired of hearing, like I'm tired of every time a heterosexual couple has a love scene or something. It's just like you just need to expect that a baby is gonna come. Like, it's very difficult for women to get pregnant. Like, they need to stop. They need to stop with this myth. Like, there's a short window that a woman can actually get pregnant, which is why monogamy is something that I feel is the best course when it comes to human relationships. Because if the goal is to survive as a species, your best bet is to continuously have intercourse with the same person. Anyway, my review of this is just, it was a very strange episode. The interaction with the characters and everything. Anyway, regardless, I'm looking forward to the next episode. So see you next time. Bye.